Hi, I'm Catherine Cochran, and I want to tell you a story about Don Williams. Don Williams was in Scotland, and Charles and I were invited to ride in the limousine to the concert there in Edinburgh, and we accepted. So we went downstairs, and there was the long white limousine waiting, and so we had just arrived, and Charles, put me in the limo, and Don and Joy were already seated in there. And so I thought, oh, great, Charles is going to get in, and so forth. Well, guess what? He jumps out. He jumps out of the car, goes up to where the driver is, and decides he's going to take the trip with the driver, and leaves me back in the back with the Williams. Oh, my gosh, what do you say? What do you do? So here I am, inches away from Don Williams, and I decided to be quiet. I'm being social. If he asks me a question, but I'm not going to sit there and yap my head off. That's not what you do around him. But at any rate, it was a terrible rainy night, torrential rain, and just as bad as it could be. And we had to stop off at a tailor's house, a beautiful old, century-old home. And he disappeared behind a gate of iron ivy and a big door. Anyway, he went in, and so we waited in the car, Joy and myself, and we waited for Don to come back. And Charles, of course, he's in the front seat with the driver. And so Don comes out, and he says, he gets in the car, and we're all like, oh, how did it go? And so he said, I said, I feel kind of funny, We said, well, why? What happened? He goes, well, he says, I don't drink. And he said, the host offered me a jigger of Scottish whiskey. And so he said because he didn't want to be rude, he went on ahead and drank the whiskey. And so, of course, that went straight to his head because he wasn't used to wearing anything. And so, at any rate, we went on along. We were heading towards the concert, and glad we were in this heavy, big vehicle because, like I said, the rain was just pelting down right and left. And so Joy Williams asked me, oh, Catherine, do you drink? And I thought, oh, no. And so I told her, I go, I drink Guinness. I said, I think Guinness is one of the finest beers there is. And it's got a lot of vitamins and minerals. And so that's what I like to drink is Guinness. I thought, oh, boy, I hope I got out of that one okay. At any rate, the concert was a grand success. We rode back to the hotel with the Williams in the limousine and very grateful that we were in a safe vehicle. All right, and Catherine Cochran, the outlaw from Nashville. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.